name is Lisa Thomas. My son Chandler, 19 years old, intelligent, compassionate, friendly, deep thinker, larger than life personality, very intuitive, very trustworthy. Chose a decision on November 11th, 2013 that changed his life course as well as his family's. He was a freshman at the University of Arkansas, majoring in business through the Sam Walton School of Business. 17 hours, business management, entrepreneurship minor. He had the world in front of him. Chandler had ADD, suffered with a little bit of depression a few years ago, and was very adventuresome. Loving Fayetteville, loving his new friends, loving his freedom. He made a decision that wasn't a good decision. Phone call came on November 11th at 10:15 at night. And it is the phone call that I pray no parent ever receives in their lifetime. It is a detective telling me that my son is being rushed to the emergency room in Fayetteville. I stop, don't even ask the name of the hospital. Just know I need to get in the car and get there. 10 hours away from Austin, my son is being rushed to the emergency room. The feeling of, what do I do? The feeling of your brain completely shutting down and going into autopilot. And the feeling of God truly lifting me in the palm of his hand and orchestrating the next 35 minutes until I was in the car with my mother and father driving the 10-hour drive to Fayetteville. Thank you, boys. First off, I just want to thank you for supporting students opposing substances. This is such a huge statement to all of us that you want to take a stand and that you care that much. Chandler is no longer here with his sister, his nana, his papa, his aunts, his uncles, his cousins, his friends, his dad or his mom, because of a decision that he made. Every one of you teens, every one of you youth sitting out there, make your own decisions. I didn't make Chandler's decision that day on a Monday afternoon. Those of you that knew Chandler, as I said in the video, Chandler was my invincible, my precious ADD 19-year-old. just amazing, larger-than-life boy. We arrived after the 10-hour drive to Fayetteville the following morning at 9:15 and walked into Washington Memorial Hospital, and they were waiting for us, and we walked immediately straight to the ICU wing. And that's what we saw when we walked in the room. You never believe that this will be the phone call. You never believe that this will be your child. And believe me, he didn't think it would be him either. One of the first things I asked his friends that I had met when we moved him in was he trying to hurt himself? What was his state of mind? Because that day on November 11th at 2:45, I was on the phone with him, talking to him, and we were talking about Christmas and about his snowboarding trip that he took with his dad every Christmas. And he was fine. We were talking about finals, and never did I have, any idea at 3:15 that he would be making a decision that would change all of our lives forever. Something that I need you teens to hear. You're not as invincible as you think you are. You're not. Chandler was 6'3", size 15 shoe. Everyone that's gone through admissions with me, I joked about my 8-year-old in the 18-year-old body. And I've said that because truly their frontal lobe of their brain is not developed. And now until they're 25. So we need to stand up and be strong for our youth. Chandler, I can't tell you that we're the perfect parents, but I can also tell you that our kids have been brought up in the church. Our kids have been brought up in an amazing Christian school. Our kids have been brought up in a loving, amazing family. And surrounded by unconditional love that will never end. The 21 days that we were in the ICU, words will never cover the emotions, the ups, the downs that we experienced every minute. Chandler never spoke. The 21 days in ICU, I want to know that he knew who we all were. My family was driving the 10-hour drive back and forth, trying to make some sense out of all of our lives during this time. Each day we were there, 16 hours in that room with him. They had him restrained in the bed because he was so strong. And this drug, this synthetic street drug, that you're hearing about parents on the news is killing our kids every minute. And it is so scary because there's no regulation, obviously. It's getting into our country from China and from the UK. What Chandler bought was a hole punch dot. These kids are purchasing, the kids that we met, Chandler's hallmates, called it 25I or N-bomb. And N-bomb is the chemical name for this particular drug. Kind of like ecstasy, kind of like acid. And you purchase it, it's a hole punch size, and it's $10. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me, because he was a poor college student. He didn't have any money, but $10. And that day at 2:45, we hung up the phone, at about 5 till 3, and he met a boy. He hadn't met him before. And everybody knew who the 19-year-old freshman fraternity boy, and it took a text message, and they met outside the dorm, and that's where he purchased it. He ingested it, put it on his tongue, and 2 hours later, after playing video games and being up in the dorm with his friends, they decided they were going to go get something to eat. And I don't think that the drug had affected him yet. And so they got in the car, and that is when the drug took effect. He lost his mind literally, and tried to jump out of the car and ran away from his friends. And he was found running through the campus, yelling, hallucinating. And the campus police stopped him, and that is when he hit the ground and for 5 hours had seizures and 106 body temperature. They immediately rushed him to the emergency room, took him in, and iced his body down and couldn't stop the seizures. When in our 10-hour drive, we were on the phone with the detectives, the police officers there was the campus police officers that had picked him up, who were just unbelievable. They were amazing. And they just kept us, informed as we were driving. But they couldn't stop the seizures, for over 5 hours. Chandler was very, very smart. He was a researcher. He could justify anything and everything you asked him, and debate and argue I'm sure he justified what this drug was and how it was just going to be something different, I guess. One of his roommates down, or his college, or one of the hallmates down the hall had done it. And I'm sure they were just all having a conversation about how cool it would be. Peer pressure. Guys, I'm going to tell you, it'll take you nowhere good. The only person that can have control of your decisions, your actions, the friends you keep, the words you text, the emails you write, the Instagrams that you post, the Snapchats that you are putting, and your social media. You're the only one that has control of that. You are the only one that is responsible for that. I'm standing up here telling you all of this because I didn't have any control of his decisions. And it's real now. And unfortunately, he's not coming back. And we say on a daily basis, we just keep thinking he's going to walk through the door. And he's not. Yes, I know he's in heaven. Yes, I know he's having a much better time than his mom is right now. And than his family is. We endured the 21 days in ICU with doctors that were just dumbfounded. They couldn't figure it out. They had started a chat room with some doctors in the UK trying to figure out an antidote for this unknown drug that was ingested. The scariest part is that through the 21 days, on that Saturday before it all happened, he was walking, my friends, all of you that were in the email loop, and I don't know if you got pictures, but he was walking, and we were feeding him ice chips and pudding, and I had friends here, dear friends that are sitting in this audience that were helping me figure out transport to get him back here, helping us figure out the neurological rehab that he would be going into. Never, ever, ever, ever did we think that he wouldn't be coming home with us that day. He, that Sunday, he went into cardiac arrest because his body just couldn't take the trauma that it had endured. Never did we think that we would have to make the decision on whether or not, we could send our son's body to the state crime lab in Little Rock. And never did we think that we would have to make the decision to have his body cremated because of just all of the meds, and just everything they had to pump into him during those 21 days. All because of a decision that Chandler made. There was a court case, 3 state prosecutors in Little Rock. The boy was arrested within 48 hours, was in jail. He was expelled from the University of Arkansas. His life, obviously, will be forever changed. But he's here, and Chandler's not. And something that, if you hear anything tonight with this story, is that, is it really worth it? Is it worth it? I can tell you, if he had any idea of what the next 22 days would have been like for his family, for his sister, he would never, ever have texted that boy. He would have never put those stupid dots on his tongue. God has a grander purpose for Chandler's life, for us, in this story. I need you to think. Teens, I need you to think. Parents, I need you to be in their business. I need you to read their texts. I need you to just take their phone away. Communication through social media is deadly. I want to help any student. I want to help any family that has questions. I'm very blessed to be at a school, to be with a team, our board, our head of school that takes this very serious. SOS is huge, but it's going to be a small part of a youth awareness campaign and parent-student seminar series that it's not going away. It's going to be in the city of Austin. It's going to be in the state of Texas. It's going to be across the country because we have to save our kids. Like Dean said, this is a scary time to be a parent, and it's a scary time to have a teenager actually have a middle schooler on that. So thank you for your support. Thank you for loving me and my family so much through all of this. I've asked Madison to just say a couple things to close me, just to make me talking. So my sweet girl, who I'm so proud of.
Okay, I just have a couple of things really fast. First of all, wow, I'm so proud of you. That was huge. And you guys, this story matters. This story is important, and this story happened. It is true. And it could be any one of you. Do you hear me? It could be any one of you. Chandler did not realize. Chandler had no clue, you guys. Chandler was a great guy. He was friends with a lot of y'all. He had no clue. So I don't know. I said this to him a lot, and I want to say this to y'all. You guys matter. Y'all are worth more than this drug. You are worth more than these dumb decisions because y'all are world changers. Y'all are going to do things. Y'all are going to do incredible things, and y'all have such great opportunities ahead of you. So do not let these drugs steal them from you. Just don't. It's just one decision, you guys. But one bad decision can completely screw your life up. So y'all make the choice. Make the choice. Team up. Grab each other's hands and say no together. You guys, it's worth it. It is so worth it. And I know it's hard. I know it is. But it's worth it. And if you're not going to make the choice for yourself, make it for your family. I can tell you, I have never experienced deeper pain than I have in these past 5 months. And you don't want that for your loved people you love. You guys, so just make the choice. Decide to say no. I know it's not easy, but it is worth it, and y'all are worth more. So yeah.